Hey, how's it going everyone? Today we're going to talk about the recent issue with Jimison, aka Atlantic City over there where you're missing textures and all that. The developers have responded to this. We're also going to discuss a new bug that just popped up in the latest patch, which will not allow you to use your workstation, whether that be the research or if you're trying to craft something, right? Well, we're going to get into all of this and let's go ahead and dive right into it. Let's start off by discussing the latest issue with New Atlantis. There's a big problem going on to where you're missing textures, for example, right here. I do want to start off by giving a huge thank you to PicoTrek for sending me this image right here so you can see exactly how broken New Atlantis is. I'm sure a good portion of you out here have experienced this exact bug here where you're missing textures. Sometimes it may be just a little, and sometimes it might be extreme like this. If that's the case, well then, thankfully there will be a fix, but it's being investigated, so really, it's probably going to take a while for this to be patched. Now, where am I finding this information? Again, if you head over to Bethesda support, they have some information right here that says, why are textures missing in New Atlantis? The developers left this at the bottom, saying, we are aware of an issue where geometry, interactable objects, and NPCs are disappearing from New Atlantis after changing your home ship on the Din space station. This issue is currently being investigated. The good news is that they are looking into these missing textures, but the bad news is that it's going to take some time. If I had any guess, maybe when the next beta patch rolls around, we'll be able to take a look at it. That's if they do decide to do it again. Which, by the way, I do not see why they would not want to do it again. I think it actually helped out quite a lot. Let's go ahead and move on towards the next thing that the developers had to say. This next post is pretty similar to the other issue, which is kind of strange because they have resolved this problem. What you see right here, it says, what do I do if I have another starship stuck to my ship? On the bottom, the developers have had this to say, we are aware of an issue where some players have ships stuck to their starships. This will be resolved in a future update. Then if you go down below, they have some of these other things that you can do to fix it. What's interesting is that the issue that they're talking about here is the reason why most of you have messed up textures over at the good old Atlantis City. And why is this? Because if your Din ship is connected to, or excuse me, if the Din ship is connected to your ship, then at that point when you arrive on a planet, it's going to completely jack up the textures. I've went over this in one of my previous glitch videos. If I can find the video specifically to show you guys what I'm talking about, I will link it down below in a pinned comment. Continuing on, last but not least, we're going to talk about something here that I've seen not only PC players experiencing, but also you guys on Xbox. There's a huge problem right now where some of you cannot save your game, which is not good because how are you going to continue back to playing, right? So what they've said right here is, what do I do if I can't save my game in Starfield on PC? The developers had this to say down below, we are investigating reports from players being unable to save in Starfield. If you are experiencing this issue, please try the troubleshooting down below. So basically what they're talking about here is there is an issue with PC players where you cannot save, like I just mentioned a few seconds ago. Now here's the thing, I do not know why they're specifically saying, hey, PC, you guys have the issue, but it's actually a problem on Xbox as well. Like, for example, take a look at this image. This user 2 months ago had experienced this problem right here, which says, help, game won't save on Series X. If you take a look at the image specifically in the middle, it says, fail to create save game, you are low on space to save your progress. Please delete some of your existing saved content. Then this same exact Reddit user named Yaisoho said, hey guys, I have a 60 gigabyte storage free on my Xbox Series X, but it refuses to save Starfield. It gives me these warnings often. And so, yeah, it's an issue that's not only on PC, but also on Xbox. I don't know why, again, they're specifically saying, hey, it's PC, but it should be also on Xbox as well. So with that being said, let's go on and talk about something different here. We're going to talk about some of the newest bugs that have just popped up in the latest update. There's currently a big problem where some people cannot use the workbenches. For example, this user, I don't know how to pronounce that, but anyways, this fella right here cannot use the research station, nor can he craft an item. Pretty much he's unable to use any of the workbenches that are present and available. What he tried to do was travel to a different location, one of his outposts, and he still was not able to use it then, which is quite concerning because this is another huge thing that you're supposed to use, right? You're supposed to have better equipment, better guns. Well, how are you going to do that? How are you going to improve your weapons if you cannot do so? So this problem right here should be fixed, or should be looked at so that it can be fixed, because again, like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I said, hey, when this patch comes out, it's probably going to pop more bugs up. That's not me being negative, that's just kind of how it seems as of late. Cyberpunk has done the same exact thing, where they updated something and it still has problems today. So it's not a shot at Starfield or Bethesda specifically, I'm just here pointing out facts. There are a lot of great games out here, even some worse ones, like I guess it's up for debate, Call of Duty, right? Some of those games have bugs in them that just pop up constantly. It seems like there's really no way to fix a game up or to have a perfect game at launch. Now, does it happen? Absolutely. There's games out there that can just come out fresh out of the gates and they're just perfect. While on the other hand, it feels like most of the games that we are playing today are just filled with bugs. I don't know, that's my opinion. You let me know how you feel about this. But let's go ahead and move on towards some of the other issues that a lot of people have been experiencing as of late. We all know that update 1.8.86 for sure fixed the Ryujin sabotage mission, or did it? That's a good question. It absolutely did not. Apparently, from what some users have reported right here, this Reddit user, no, my gosh, what is up with most of the people creating these names? Not for Wookie. What the? Anyways, the title says update 1.8.86 did not fix Ryujin's sabotage bug. This user goes on to say this right here, I'm massively disappointed. I was super excited when I saw that this bug was on the fix list to finally complete Ryujin's questline, which I'd long given up for lost. But no, David Barron still spawns into the New Atlantis nowhere either. Either? I don't know. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna cut it off there. This has been a really interesting post here. Basically, yeah, there's an issue going on to where sabotage is still bugged, so regardless, even if you do update it, you're gonna encounter this issue. My theory is that most of you have this bug right now because you have saved it at a point where it's bugged. Now, that's a huge problem, because you're not gonna be able to complete this quest. You might have to just go to New Plus by going to Unity and then traveling on through. Now, to give you another example of this problem, this Reddit user named Horse said this right here. Eye of the Storm, mission still bugged after patch, despite the patch note specifically stating, as we all know, they fixed an issue with Eye of the Storm. But then this Reddit user goes on to say, this is not actually the case, I still can't progress, there is no prompt to dock onto the ship. So, for this example right here, I think it's the same exact issue. If you saved it to a point where it was frozen and you're no longer able to go inside, then it's going to be that way throughout the whole entire save. I think when you're able to start up a fresh save and you go through this, you're probably not going to experience any issues. I think it's just, again, the fact that you saved it at a certain point where it's bugged, they're no longer able to kind of reverse that issue, if that makes any sense. All in all, if you were to ask me what they should have done, which I don't know why you would, but if you were to ask me, I would say they should have waited it out and patched almost everything that they possibly could, and then release a big patch instead of just releasing parts of a patch. Whether that was pressure from us saying, hey, we want a patch already, or if it was just a simple decision from their end. Either or, I think the right way would have been to just let it sink in, let all the bugs kind of just, kind of gather up, and then fix them all together. And then from there, when the patch does come out, everyone can experience a nice patch. But instead, you have some of these issues that are just popping up left and right, some new ones and some older ones. With that being said, let me know what you guys think about everything that we've talked about in today's video. I appreciate everyone that had stopped by in the last videos or the last two videos. Thank you so much. If you have not subscribed, because I know a good portion of you do stop by, but you're not subscribed, definitely do so by clicking that red button. Other than that, thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you all in the next video.